Welcome to the GTN show.
Yeah, we have passed that time for New Year's wishes. We're now on to New Year's goals. Are you guys still on track for yours? Well, with Quitter's Day looming, we've got some motivation tips to help you.
Plus, we've got an exciting giveaway that could help you stick to your 2024 goals. The Brownlees have bought a triathlon, and the Norwegians have checked in with some interesting VO2 max numbers. Starting the show, as we always do, with some reacts, some of the stuff we've noticed on social media over the last week. And starting with this one from Gwen Jorgensen announcing a new bike partner. She is going to be riding Canyon. That is in her pursuit to get to the Olympic Games this year. We've been following that quite closely, and she's on track, but got a mountain to climb ahead of her still. But yeah, she's partnered with Canyon from this year, so exciting for her. Certainly a bike won't be slowing her down.
Yeah, but quite a last-minute change on Olympic year, isn't it, really? Not that long.
Although road bikes, it's
all same thing.
Not like tri bikes, it's that much.
Talking of tri-bikes, Emma Pallant has just posted a video of her riding one of her rides for 2024, and she's on the Liv TT bike, and last year we saw her solely riding the Cadex. Obviously, Cadex and Giant and Liv are all under the same umbrella, so I think her sponsorship hasn't changed, but it looks like she's adding another bike to her repertoire.
Very matchy with her kit colours.
Yeah, you certainly won't miss her, will you?
Yeah,
very cool.
Really cool. And then the Norwegians have put out a YouTube video. It's their episode 3 of their The Norwegian Method, where they don't really give too much away. And quite clearly, this is a bit of propaganda, a bit of psychological warfare, I think, in the lead up to the Olympic Games, trying to show that Christian Blumfeldt is head and shoulders above everyone else, and he's going to take some beating, and he's never seen numbers like this. And I'm not sure how good Alexander Bu's acting is, but he was definitely shocked at the amazing numbers that Christian Blumfeldt was putting out in that video.
This is insane. Okay. Let's go. I helvete svarte! I svartaste. This cannot be published. This actually have to stay here.
He says the swim and the bike are higher than ever before, and on the run he is outputting numbers that are so high, so ridiculously much higher than I didn't believe the numbers, and I said nobody could publish them before I needed to verify them to be sure. He then went on and recalibrated the equipment in the video and said that he's going to have to readjust Christian Blumfeldt's program going forward because of these crazy numbers he hit. He said, I have to sit down and absorb and decide what consequences these numbers will have for the next block of training, because Christian has truly reacted exceptionally to the last block of training. We'll see where things are now heading, and have to absorb it and see the consequences it'll have for the plan.
It's a lot of drama, isn't it?
It is a lot of drama. I mean, there's a couple of screenshots from the actual video and some ridiculous numbers on that screen, and take it with a pinch of salt. Obviously, they are playing the game, I think, yeah. But there's like 7,700 milliliters per minute, which is like world record level VO2 max numbers, if that's what he's hitting. Obviously, that might just be a peak and not his actual VO2 max, but still, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I think it's probably a bit of psychological games leading up to the Olympic Games.
But you'd think overall things were looking good, or you'd hope so. Otherwise, it's
they're looking good for Christian.
Yeah. So exactly. So Gustav's season, obviously last year didn't really go to plan with his Achilles injury and losing his mother and having just pretty. I'm sure he is keen to put 2023 behind him. Well, he has just said 2023 was the worst year of both my career and life in general. There wasn't much to say about it in terms of positives. I didn't have one race where I was happy, and there were very few training sessions that were going in the right direction. Basically, everything has been a challenge this year. And now he says, what I thought was just a good excuse to finish the season early with a slight Achilles pain has been with me for almost half a year now. I don't have any experience of being injured, so it's quite challenging. I don't know what the best direction to take is, and I don't know what pain is good and what pain is bad. It sounds like he's still in a bit of a bad place.
Yeah, 6 months of Achilles injury and going into the Olympic year is not where you want to be, but fingers crossed for him and he can get his form back going. Anyway, that video is out for you to watch if you want to. Interesting viewing. Then Mika Nuit has actually posted something. He's going to follow Mark's plan. So if you watched a video not too long ago, Mark attempted to swim all of the Olympic swimming events in a row. So just the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 50 meters, the 25 meters, all of them. Mark worked out that it was like about 5.5 Ks. Well, Mika Nurt's doing the same. He's worked out that it's 6,100 meters. I'm not sure how he got to a different number to Mark. We'll have to question that. Also, I think Mika Nurt might be a little bit more able to hit all of the... Because Mark didn't really get through all the butterfly. I mean, not that I could have, to be fair. However, there were a few stops in the butterfly leg of Mark's. The 200-meter fly was a 100-meter fly and then a rest and then another 50 and a rest. And
Better than either of us could do, so what can we say?
Definitely couldn't. And Mika Nurt's going to give it a go, so we'll see how he goes. He's asked you to guess what time he's going to do, and as Mark said there in the comments, my guess is significantly quicker than Mark's, so... I think he probably will be.
We'll keep an eye on that one. In running news, Sophie Coldwell, triathlete, and her husband, ultra runner, Tom Evans, have done double at their local cross-country championships. And Sophie posted here, ran a muddy 8K with my best mate, didn't fall over, didn't twist my ankle, and had some fun. And they're both holding quite significant-looking trophies. So I think that was a significant win. Domination.
Yeah. Well done. Moving on, it's time for Tri News, starting with... PTO have announced their Athlete of the Month for December, and it is Daniel Bakkegaard. He actually won 2 events in November, and then December he won Ironman Western Australia quite impressively. So he took the title of PTO Athlete of the Month for December. Daniel said, the 2 race wins obviously gave me a huge confidence boost, and now winning the PTO Athlete of the Month also gives me a huge amount of encouragement going into the 2024 season. All in all, it's just a nice way of having the holidays off with the family and enjoy some downtime, because I know that next year we'll be extremely busy with a packed calendar where I'll only have World Championship caliber races all year round. We've spoken about the calendar in 2024. It is going to be interesting. We're not entirely sure what it looks like yet, but yeah, World Championship caliber races all year round is pretty much what all the pros are going to have to get ready for.
Yeah, it sounds full on, doesn't it? Well, at a more grassroots level, there's some news from the Brownlee Foundation, obviously set up by Alistair and Johnny Brownlee, and they have just acquired or just bought Try Hard events, which include various triathlons, and one of the probably most iconic in that list is the Helvellyn Tri, which is held up in the Lake District, quite a stunning yet brutal triathlon. Now, they apparently want to obviously boost the triathlon ecosystem with this purchase. So by not only putting on great multi-sport events, but they also want to use the profits made from organising these events and put it back into the grassroots, and especially putting on triathlons in primary schools and getting young children introduced to the sport of triathlon. And Alistair here says it's about starting the process of young people being involved in sport and the valuable things that come with that. If they stay involved with triathlon or any one of swim, bike or run, then fantastic. But if they're inspired to just realise that being active can be fun, then the foundation has achieved something.
Yeah, the Helvellyn Triathlon, as Heather says, is a pretty stunning Lake District triathlon, one of the hardest two in the world. It swims in the Elswater and then goes up the struggle on the bike before running up Helvellyn itself. So
I say running, I mean, I definitely walked up it.
Clambering, I suppose.
When I did it.
Walking, running, clambering. Alistair actually won that race as a young man and then came back 13 years later in 2020 to win it again. He said, it's a superbly run, no-nonsense and challenging event, and we want to retain all of these aspects. The purchase does also include the purchase of Try Hard events, a few other events, including the Dalesman, which will be merged into what they're calling the Ripon Triathlon Festival. So a whole bunch of good stuff going on in the Yorkshire Dales as far as triathlon goes.
Well, you mentioned goals earlier on. Are you in need of some fitness motivation for your new year? Well, if you live in America and you like Mexican food, then you could be in luck. I mean, this is probably quite a small portion of the population, but Chipotle have teamed up with Strava, and they are offering you the chance to basically win some free food, because apparently from a survey that Chipotle have done on some of their consumers, they have found that of those consumers who run, 7 out of 10 of them are likely or very likely to go and consume their Mexican food after training or a race, which is also probably quite niche. But anyway, they have used this to just help motivate people and teamed up with Strava. So there's a few options of ways you can do this. You have to live in specific cities for these segments, but if you can win and be top of the leaderboard for the segment, you will get a free bowl, a free burrito bowl from them, which is quite an extreme thing to be able to become top of a segment. They've got trails and they've got road segments for that. All of them finishing at the Chipotle stores, obviously, or naturally. There's also, if maybe you're you're not going to be the fastest and you know that then, but you're going to be consistent, they've also got an award for the local legend, so the person who does the most of that segment. And that's actually quite a big offer because you can get a free lifestyle bowl for a year. I mean, I'm not sure how well it's going to help with your fueling and your weight management, maybe, but
all of the
Chipotle
segments end at one of their restaurants, so you have to run to the restaurant. No mention of how you get home. Also, you can have like 10 people who like just go slightly faster, each one of you, and one can walk in and get his bowl, then the next guy can beat the KOM and get his bowl. You've got
to be pretty coordinated. I mean, I don't know all the fine print, but you do need to live for those actual segments in either New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Denver, and Columbus, Ohio.
But there is something for people who don't live near those. There's the No Quitters Challenge, so you can get past the, I think, second Friday in January, which is called Quitters Day, and log at least 20 minutes of exercise twice a week. You can qualify for a free side of guac at their restaurants. So you just have to prove that on Strava. And a free side of guac, that's not too bad. So, what is this Quitters Day they're talking about?
Well, this actually originally comes from Strava and their research. Obviously, they've got a huge amount of people's data of what exercise we're doing. And back in 2019, they revealed that over 800 million users who were logging into Strava tossed in the towel on their goals by the second Friday in January, and that has, as a result, been labelled Quitters Day.
Yeah, it's coming up soon, this Friday. In fact, the tradition of New Year's resolutions actually goes back like 4,000 years to the ancient Babylonians, although their year actually began in March with the second. It wasn't in January. Anyway, the most common resolution back then was to return the tools that you had borrowed from your neighbour. That and pay off your debts, which I think is still a resolution a lot lot have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they probably weren't worried about weight loss then, or going to eat any Mexican food.
Definitely won't run into any Mexican restaurants back then. Anyway, we've got some tips for how you can stick to your New Year's resolution and get past Quitters Day this Friday, because we know it is tough. First, write down your resolution. You need it written down. It doesn't work if you just said it at midnight on January the 1st. And
with a drink in hand or a few. Yeah. You also want to make them obviously realistic. So hopefully you've made your goals realistic. If not, there's no harm in adjusting them, as long as you're still making sure that you've got something that is written down, maybe a little bit of editing if needed.
Also, you should share your resolution with others. So tell everyone about it. And again, not at midnight on January the 1st. That doesn't count if you were shouting it to the whole party saying, this year I'm going to lose 10 kgs. You need to write it down and then share it with people close to you.
Yeah, or even share it on social media, then everyone will be able to hold you accountable. Yeah. Also, which is, I think, one that a lot of people are guilty of, is not starting slow enough. So make sure that, yes, you have that goal, but you've got time to reach that, or it's realistic, like we've already said, but you build up slowly, because there's nothing worse than doing the first few days of absolutely flying and going, yeah, I'm hitting this, and then you get an iggle, or you just get too exhausted.
So stiff and sore, you can't carry it on.
Exactly, you see a lot of that.
Another good tip is to find someone to do it with you. Find someone who can share your goal or your resolution and buddy up with that person, and make sure you both, because you can both keep each other accountable. That helps a lot.
Yeah, reward yourself. So, I mean, maybe not with Mexican food every day, but whether it is just, sitting down and reading your book, or doing something that you enjoy, just something, whatever it is for you, that is whether that's at the end of each week or the end of the month when you've reached it, just something to keep you motivated.
Yep, and you should share your results. When you do hit the goals and we do achieve them, you should share them, because you'll get that motivation from everyone congratulating you. You should definitely tell people that you've achieved your resolution.
Yeah, celebrate it. This one might, again, involve a little bit of tweaking of your goals if you have made them already, but make sure it's something that will realistically fit into your lifestyle. So you're not going to be sort of taking other things out that are important to you to try and do these goals, because as a result, they'll soon go out the window, basically. Yeah.
And finally, be patient with yourself and don't give in at the first setback, because things are not going to go as smoothly as you hope they will. You're not going to get from zero to that marathon without a single setback. But if you do, you'll be rewarded by achieving your goal. So don't get waylaid by a single setback. Just keep moving forward and you'll get there.
Yeah, I think that's a really vital one. And it's also not too late to start now, just because we're in the second week of January. And talking of which, James, Mark and myself have all been getting on Zwift as part of the Zwift 30 and 30. So they've teamed up with us at GTN, and there is a workout every single day of January, bar the 31st. And we are actually leading some of those rides as well. So if you haven't yet joined us, then we'd suggest going and joining the GTN Club on Zwift, and you'll be able to see all of the rides, and you'll see which ones that we're leading as well.
Yep, see you there.
It is competition time. We have teamed up with our partners at Precision Fuel and Hydration to offer 3 lucky viewers a $250 gift card for products from Precision Fuel and Hydration, along with a consultation with their athlete support service where they will go through a fuel and nutrition plan for your goals for this year. So if you do have a big event you've put in the diary, well, this is a perfect way to boost you and help you keep on track for it.
Yeah, so if you want to enter that, click on the link down below this video and you could be winning that. There are terms and conditions. You only open to those residents residing in the UK, USA, the EU, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Promotion will close at 10 o'clock on Saturday, the 20th of January, 2024, and the winners will be announced on the GTN show on Wednesday, the 24th of January. In tech news this week, GTN has a new partnership on the tech side of things. We have a new trainer partner. True Kinetics has come on board and we're going to be riding the True Kinetics trainer. They're an exciting new player in the world of stationary trainers. We're looking forward very much to getting on these trainers. It was actually started by a Dutch inventor and Kona triathlete, Bas van Rens, who was not happy with his traditional indoor trainer because it didn't activate his muscles realistically like the road. So he invented a whole new one that does a much better job of it. The True Bike and the True Trainer offer super smooth rides and recreate the outdoor pedal force by allowing you to correctly train the muscles that you need on race day. It does this by using AI and robotics. It actually got a CES Innovation Award a couple of years ago. And it doesn't use those, what they call antiquated flywheels. Essentially, it's a robot that adjusts the resistance 10,000 times a second or something crazy like that. So it always feels exactly like it should, like it does out on the road. Well, I'm looking forward to riding them.
Yeah, perfect time of year, isn't it? When I'm personally doing no riding on the road, so at least it makes me feel like I am. It's got some pretty strong credibility behind it as well, because one of the founders is Olympic gold medalist Anna van der Breggen. So yeah, if she thinks it's good enough, then I think it's probably good enough for us.
Yeah, watch this space.
And we are back onto race news. I mean, don't get too excited. We do just have one race this week, and it was 70.3 Pucón in Chile. And the women's race was won by Marta Sanchez. Second place, Elizabeth Brava, and Barbara Riveros was third.
On the men's side, Sam Long took the win in Chile, with Luciano Tacconi in second and Martin Uloa in third. Sam Long posted winner. Very stoked to take the win here at 70.3 Pucón. Thank you, Chile, for being such an encouraging place, and congrats to the other podium getters. Why choose this photo? Because I think sometimes making something look easy, but it's actually very difficult. Preparation was hard, the race was hard, everything hasn't come easy, but I'm constantly adapting and finding a way to get it done. And clearly he didn't have a very easy race. It was hard going to win that, but of course it is a very much off-season race. And I don't think many people are in that kind of form to win 70.3 at this time of year.
Pretty soon after New Year, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Very soon after New Year. Anyway, Sam's in good form. All right, now it's time for our pinboard, where we take a look at some of the things you guys have sent us in. And remember, in January, we are fittingly looking for you in your pain cave. Send us photos of your pain cave, preferably with you in your pain cave, not just the walls in your bike setup. But if you can't, if you need someone to take that photo, then just your pain cave. We're always interested in a good pain cave setup. This week, we're starting with this one from Phil in Westwood Ho, North Devon. Apparently, Ho, you have to say really loud because it's got an exclamation mark on it. Anyway, there was a conversation off camera, never mind. Watching the New Year episode whilst training, the TV screen did white out in the pic, but I promise, it's Mark and Heather. Plus, check out my shorts. As if we could miss them, he's GTN on his shorts.
Yeah. We like it. Nice one. Dave.
Training hard.
Yeah, well, moving on. Dave is also training hard here in Hertzburg in Ontario, Canada. And he says, this is the point where it took over the spare bedroom of my house and turned it into a full pain cave. Bikes hanging from the wall, extra wheels, fan, whatever I need. Having only one left at home has its benefits. I presume he means child by one.
He's got more than one bike, so it's definitely child.
Yeah, it must be.
And we got Thomas from Niagara Falls in the USA. My favourite seat in the house for watching our hometown Buffalo Sabres hockey games. He's got the lights down. He's got the LED lights around the roof, everything, and he's got Zwift going. So pretty good setup for watching hockey.
Yeah, a good excuse, isn't it?
Hopefully he's turning the pedals and not just sitting watching hockey.
Otherwise, I'd find a more comfortable seat if I was him. But this next one comes from David, but I don't see David in the picture. He says, he's in Perth, Western Australia, and says, this is what happens when you are told that the only time you get to watch YouTube is while you are Zwift Zwifting. Hashtag building for the future. So I presume he's got his daughter to do the pedalling whilst he can watch GTN. I mean, I think pretty clever.
Yeah. The only way she's allowed to watch us on camera is to pedal her bike. Sounds like fair, especially if she wants to watch us. And then Andy from Spain says, at the ripe age of 57, I took up triathlon as had to give up all other sports such as field hockey after his hips were replaced in 2014. 70.3 in 2020, Ironman in 2021 and various half distances. And then second at Challenge Davos in the age group of 60-year-olds. Even returned to Victoria Gasteiz last year for the Ironman, has loved the atmosphere the first time. This year, the focus is on cycling, so grand fondos and several tours. And a photo of him, it looks like he's got the sun shining there. He doesn't really need to be in his pain cave,
do you know what, actually, James? It is a video, and it does, I had a quick look beforehand, and it does look rather nice. And apparently, though, he does need to be on his pain cave because he was joining us on the Zwift 30 and 30.
Oh, there we go, that's why.
So
he sacrificed going riding in the sun
we appreciate
to join
that,
us on a Zwift ride. Oh, yeah, really do appreciate
nice
that.
Nice one. We have another video as well, actually, here from Tian, from James, your neck of the woods in South Africa in Port Elizabeth, and says, starting the 2024 season well rested after holidays and off time after a busy year of triathlon, including Ironman World Champs in Nice. Just drop that one in there. Nice.
Yeah, getting fit again. And then Yuri from Nice in France, another place where we had the World Champs. Look who I bumped into the day before Ironman Worlds, and look who it is.
I mean, this is an older photo, but he has just sent it in, so we thought, I mean, it's not a pain cave in any shape or form.
I'm not sure. Mark and Heather said they were working in Nice, but it looks like they've either been swimming in the ocean or going for a barefoot run down the promenade in that photo.
I mean, can't you see the sun's setting? It's like the end of the day.
Yeah, they're working hard or hardly working.
But anyway, back to the pain caves. Like James said at the start, if you guys do have some photos or you're just in your pain cave and you're watching the GTN show, now could be the perfect time to get that picture and upload it.
Say what? Okay, we're going to take a look at some of your comments you've posted on some of our videos. Remember, you can comment below any of our videos. We always love to hear from you guys. Paul Cottridge says, this was under the video we did about how to not be intimidated if you're going to swim in a lane pool for the first time. It can be quite an intimidating experience. So if it's something you're struggling with this January and you are wanting to get into the pool, go watch that video. Paul Cottridge says, the thing I dislike about swimming is having too many people in each lane, 8 to 10 people. This makes it difficult to do a quality session. Also, all my local pools will not allow fins, paddles, or snorkels. Well, probably because you've got 8 to 10 people in your lane. I've tried to go at different times of the day to avoid the peak times. Also, people doing slow breaststroke in the fast lane, kicking the full width of the lane, making it near impossible to get around them. It sounds like he's having a real rant, and we can sympathise, but yeah, that was the whole point of the video, that, you know, you can't really rage against it. That is part of the deal.
Yeah, it did make me chuckle that any inkling or mentioning of sharing a lane, people feel the anger. TL Stu also says, I always find you get people who are in the wrong lane who just keep going and you end up with 6 people behind them. Then there is the group that swim a few lengths, then stop for a chat, hugging the wall, so you can't get to it. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will empathise with you guys. I'm not going to add any fire to this rant because we could definitely go off on one. But anyway, that does bring the show to a close. If you have enjoyed the show, then do give us a like, and we love it if you want to support the channel by subscribing if you don't yet do so already. We've got lots of great content coming up, including one this weekend of what does your resting heart rate say about you? Yeah.
If you're looking for something to watch right now, Heather also did a tips for your first half marathon. If that was your New Year's resolution, head over and watch that. And we're going to leave you with a few tips from none other than Alex Dowsett, because let's face it, quite a few people in the Northern Hemisphere are heading somewhere sunny for a bike camp or a triathlon training camp, and he's got some tips on how to ruin it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
I'm off on a training camp. It is training camp season by all means. The UK and German cycling contingent are all packing their bags right now and their bikes, ready to head to Mallorca and try and set a PB up Sacralobra. Tell you a few ways to ruin your training camp on day one. I've seen it firsthand. I get it, it's exciting. There's climbs, lots of climbs. So day one, make sure you do them all of them, as hard as you can, which means riding further and faster and climbing higher than you've really ever done before. Another way is if you're with some friends, make sure you show them all how strong you are on day one as well. Every single one of them. Half bike them, half wheel them. Just really, really put them to the sword. Yeah, and then the last thing that will really ruin your camp is trying to lose weight as well as trying to train your ass off. That's another classic. If you do all this correctly, You'll be in bed by day 2. You'll remain there for days 3, 4, and 5. And then if you're lucky, you won't get sick. And you'll make it back out on the bike on day 6, ready to head back to the UK on day 7, having done 2 quite unproductive days training.